Steven Willard Anderson was a 46-year-old man from Murray, Utah. On June 3, 2004, he left home claiming he was going to paint his family's cabin near Flaming Gorge. He drove a leased 2001 green Toyota Sequoia, a vehicle that would become central to what followed. Friends and family described him as dedicated, a father who coached youth sports, worked in sales and business, and was always on the move. When he failed to arrive at the cabin and later didn't respond to calls, concern grew. His absence marked the beginning of a cold case that would last 2 decades. That June day in 2004, Steven set off on the more than 200-mile drive from Salt Lake County toward the family cabin. But he never made it. The Sequoia disappeared along with him. No trace on roads, no phone activity, no confirmed sightings. His family waited days, then weeks. Calls unanswered. Alarm and worry grew. Eventually, a missing persons report was filed. For years, the mystery deepened. Where had he gone, and what had happened on that drive to Flaming Gorge? Over the ensuing years, the case of Steven Anderson remained unresolved. His family held on to hope, but leads grew cold and the world moved on. The vehicle remained missing, and without the car or body, investigators lacked the evidence needed to draw conclusions. Despite periodic reviews and community interest, the disappearance became one of many cold cases in Utah, a painful unknown hanging over the family's lives. But some never forgot. Friends, former teammates, and grassroots search advocates continued to believe in answers. In 2022, nearly 18 years after Steven vanished, renewed attention was drawn to his case through media coverage. That publicity led the nonprofit United Search Corps and Recovery Specialist, Sparks Heavy Rescue to reach out to authorities to help reopen the investigation. By April 2024, they were collaborating with the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office to methodically re-examine possible underwater sites, focusing especially on known reservoirs along likely travel routes. After months of sonar sweeps and dives, their efforts led to a critical discovery: a submerged vehicle at about 50 feet deep in Starvation Reservoir, Duchesne County. On September 29, 2024, the submerged SUV, later confirmed to be Steven's leased 2001 Toyota Sequoia, was located. The next day, after a coordinated recovery involving multiple agencies and rescue teams, the vehicle was lifted from the water. Inside, investigators found human remains. For the first time in 2 decades, there was tangible evidence and the possibility that the case might finally reach closure. On February 11, 2025, the Utah Office of the Medical Examiner and a private lab confirmed by DNA testing that the remains recovered from the vehicle belonged to Steven Willard Anderson. The authorities announced that no foul play was suspected, concluding he died accidentally, though exact cause beyond that official determination was not publicly detailed. With that confirmation, the 20-year-long missing person case was officially closed. For the family, wife, children, siblings, it marked the end of long years of uncertainty. While nothing can return what was lost, the identification brought a measure of closure, giving them a final resting point to remember him by. Steven's children publicly shared relief. After 20 years of unanswered questions, they finally had confirmation. His son said the truth allowed the family to begin the healing process. Friends and former associates remembered him as the Iron Man, committed, hardworking, generous, always giving 110%. Although the pain of loss remained, the closure allowed memories to shift from uncertainty to remembrance, from longing to acceptance. His story, once a void, now had an ending. The family expressed gratitude to all who never gave up: investigators, volunteers, and search teams whose dedication ultimately brought them answers. The case of Steven Willard Anderson is a tragic reminder of how quickly someone can disappear into uncertainty and how many years can pass without answers. Yet it also shows that even decades later, a dedicated, coordinated effort can bring resolution. For families, closure doesn't erase grief, but it restores dignity, a name, a story, a remembered life. For communities, it underscores the importance of never forgetting missing persons. And for investigators and volunteers, it proves that cold cases can still be solved given persistence and cooperation. Steven is gone, but now he is known again, not just as missing, but as a man who lived, loved, and left behind people who remember him. His story ends not in silence, but in acknowledgement. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, because behind every case is a family waiting for answers. Keep sharing their names, keep asking questions. Together, we bring light to the missing and truth to the unknown.